We had discussed about go backend protocol. I hope the go backend protocol is clear. We have the second protocol now, that is selective repeat protocol. Even this is also one of the type under pipelining protocol. So pipelining of packets, we had already discussed about this, where multiple packets are sent at once, not just one packet, multiple packets are sent. Same as your go backend protocol. So I hope you all are remembering this go backend protocol. Here we have the packets in transit. I mean, the packets are sent in transit, and you all must be knowing here that the packet 0 is sent. Yeah, packet 0 is sent, next packet 1 is sent, packet 2, then packet 3. All 4 packets are transmitted at once, multiple packets, right? And also we have the sliding window over here. We have the sliding window whose size is 4, that means 4 packets are inside the window. Here also we have where the window is slided by one position. The meaning is acknowledgement is received for first packet, that is packet with the sequence number 0. Acknowledgement is also received for the second packet with the sequence number 1. Okay, and again here you can see all 4 packets are transmitted, retransmitted here. These 4 packets are retransmitted. What is the meaning of this retransmission? And this retransmission happens only when the packet timeout occurs, right? So when the packet timeout occurs, the particular packet, not just one packet whose timeout has expired, all the packets back to back, right from packet 2 till packet 5. Why? Because you can see here only packet 2 timeout has occurred. Even then, along with packet 2, packet 3, 4 and 5 are also resent. So these retransmissions are also it is also happening here in multiple terms, right? So that is about go back in protocol. I hope that is clear. We'll continue with the selective repeat protocol. Selective repeat, most of the concepts are same as go back in, but there are major differences between go back in and selective repeat. I hope you know the drawback of go back in. The drawback of go back in is what? Multiple packets are retransmitted. Even then, even if one packet is lost here, you can see here only this packet 2 is lost. Only because of that one packet which is lost, all the packets back to back are retransmitted. So that disadvantage is overcome here in selective repeat. So you can just see the selective repeat concept. Uh, you can see here multiple packets which has to be transmitted. Can you all note this multiple packets that has to be transmitted? You all can see here there are there is a window shown over here. Within the window, there are multiple packets. Around 14 packets are the one which are inside the window. And you can notice here, window size n is equal to 14. That is equal to total number of packets. Like how we had the 2 pointers and go back in, same way we have here also one of the pointer called base pointer, which is always pointing to the beginning of the window. Next pointer is next sequence number. That is the pointer which always points to the next packet that is to be transmitted. So here the meaning is 14 packets can be transmitted at once from the sender side. You can notice here base is pointing to the first packet, and that first packet is the one which is already transmitted but the acknowledgement is not received. So you can see this yellow packet, the meaning of yellow packet is already sent but acknowledgement is not received. And you can notice here base will increment only after acknowledgement for the packet is received. You can notice this is the second packet which is also sent but acknowledgement is not received. Third packet, you can notice it is sent but acknowledgement is received. Fourth packet also is sent but acknowledgement is received. See, this is a new thing that is happening in selective repeat, which was not there in go back in protocol. Okay, so you can notice here base is not incremented. What is shown over here? Next sequence number is pointing to this blue packet. What is the meaning of that? Next sequence number indicates the packet that has to be transmitted next. Okay, that is the next packet which has to be transmitted. These blue packets are the one which indicates that these packets can be transmitted because it falls inside the window, but these packets cannot be sent right now immediately. Why? Because the packets are not yet received, not yet arrived from the above layer, application layer. Only after the packets arise from the application layer to the transport layer, only then you can transmit these packets. So that means what? Immediately after the packets arise from the application layer, these blue packets can be transmitted because it falls inside the window. Okay, so what is the new thing happening in selective repeat? You can notice here. This shows that selectively you can send the packets, selectively you can retransmit the packets. Okay, so what is the selective retransmission happening here? We'll discuss that with the help of our flow diagram. Okay, you can just notice here, sender side we have a sliding window maintained. Same way at the receiver side also we have a sliding window maintained. So receiver sliding window size and the sender sliding window size both are same to same. Okay, so receiver window size and the sliding window size of the sender both are same to same. Receiver window, you also can notice here the receiver window, how the receiver window is maintained. Again same, around 14 packets are there. As and when the packets are received, the packets here, as and when the packets are received, the packets are stored inside the buffer or the packets are delivered to the application layer at the receiver side. So here the receiver will slide his window only after he receives the packet. He receives the proper packet. Proper packet means what? Correct packet means what? The packet should be non-corrupted one, and one more thing is the packet should be in order. So if the packet is received in order and if the packet is not corrupted, in that case the receiver will simply slide the window by one position. Okay, so that is the concept of sliding window at the receiver side. So we will explain this, we will discuss this in detail in the flow diagram. So next we will directly go to the flow diagram of selective repeat. Okay, so you all can find here the sender side, and also we have the receiver side. Also we have the sliding window maintained at the sender side, and here we can observe the sliding window maintained at the receiver side. Okay, we'll just see how the concept of packet transmission is happening here. Okay, just find here sender window size is equal to 4. The meaning is 4 packets can be transmitted at once, right? So there can be 4 packets, that is with the sequence number 0, 1, 2 and 3 respectively. Total 4 packets can be transmitted from the sender. What about the receiver? Receiver's window size is also equal to 4. The meaning is receiver at a time can receive 4 packets. Correct? Okay. So we will see one by one. So first, which is the packet that has to be transmitted? That is packet, 0th packet. Or you can call this as a packet with sequence number 0. You can notice here the first packet is transmitted, and that is our packet 0. As and when the packet 0 is received, you can see the receiver at the receiving side, he has slided his window by one position. So what is the meaning of that? Packet 0 is the packet, expected packet with the correct sequence number, and also this is the non-corrupted packet. That is why our receiver has slided the window by one position, right? So after sliding the window by one position, the receiver will extract this packet 0 and deliver that particular packet to the above application layer. So above transport layer, what we have? We have application layer. So this particular packet 0 is transmitted, delivered to the application layer. At the same time, receiver also will send one more thing. What is that? Positive acknowledgement for this particular packet 0. So ACK 0 is sent over here. So the receiver's job is done. Now we'll come back to our sender. Sender is now ready to send the second packet. You can see here sender has not yet slided his window. Why? Because till this position, till this particular stage, he has not received any of the acknowledgement, right? So we will just see here. Now the next packet that has to be transmitted is which one? It is packet 1. So packet 1 has to be transmitted. So how is he transmitting the packet 1? After transmission of packet 1, you can just notice here, yes, transmitted. Now here receiver is receiving the packet. Is that the expected packet? Yes, that is the expected packet at the receiver side. Immediately after receiving the packet 1, the receiver will slide his window by one more position, and that particular packet 1 is extracting and delivering to the above application layer. So packet 1 is also extracted. Immediately after doing that, receiver will send ACK1, that is acknowledgement for this particular received packet. So sliding is done, extraction and delivery also is done, and then sending of acknowledgement is also completed. So that is the job of receiver. So done. Again, you can see here, till this stage no acknowledgement is received, right? So that is why our sender will not slide his window. So sender will slide his window only after he receives an acknowledgement, correct? Okay, now which is the next packet that is to be transmitted? It is packet 2. So sender is sending the packet 2 here, but what is happening here? Unfortunately, this packet 2 is getting lost in the network. So once the packet is lost in the network, receiver will not receive that particular packet, obviously, right? So here receiver, no question of receiving or sliding the window, or no question of sending any acknowledgement for packet 2, because it is not received. So you can notice there is a big gap over here. Now we'll come back to the sender again. So what the sender will do here? The next packet that he can transmit now is packet 3, correct? So till here 0, 1, 2 is already sent from the sender side. Now the next packet that is transmitting is packet 3. You can notice here packet 3 is getting transmitted. Once the packet 3 is transmitted, the receiver will do the job of receiving the packet. But you notice here, whether the receiver is sliding his window, he cannot slide his window. Why? Because packet 2 is still not received. That packet 2 is not received, because of which slider receiver cannot slide his particular window. So that is why what the receiver will do here, the received packet, that is packet 3, whatever he is receiving, he is just storing that particular packet inside his buffer. You can see here packet 3 is buffered. So packet 3, whatever he has received, safely, carefully he will store that in his buffer. So what is he not doing here? Packet 3 he will not extract and deliver to the application layer. So packet 3 cannot be delivered to the application layer. Why? Because the only reason is that packet 3 has not received in order. In order means after packet 2 only you had to receive packet 3, but this is not received in order. That is why packet 3 is stored inside the buffer. Unlike go back N protocol, what go back N protocol used to do, it used to simply discard out of order packet. So discarding job is not happening in selective repeat. Note, this is the major difference between go back N and selective repeat. What is it? Selective repeat will never discard out of order packet, whereas go back N will discard simply out of order packet. Out of order means the packet which is not received in order. So packet 3 is not discarded, it is stored inside the buffer. So after that, what the receiver will do, he will simply send acknowledgement for which packet? The packet that he has just now received, that is packet 3. For this particular packet, he is sending you the acknowledgement. So this acknowledgement for the received packet, this concept also was missing in go back N. So go back N, what he used to do, he used to resend the previously correctly received acknowledgement. Previously correctly received packets acknowledgement was resent in go back N. But here that is not happening. Receiver will send the correct acknowledgement for the correctly received packet 3. Done? Okay. Now what is happening, you see? Till this stage no acknowledgement was received. Till this stage no acknowledgement was received. But now here at this stage you can see the first acknowledgement is arriving. And which is that first acknowledgement that is arriving? Acknowledgement of packet 0. So ACK 0 is just now received. So immediately after ACK 0 is received, our sender will slide the window by one more position. So for by one position, our sender will slide his window. Now this time you can see a new packet is entered inside the window, and that new packet is our packet 4. So till now only packet 3 was there. So this time packet 4 is entering into the window. So packet 4, immediately after he receives, he is going to send that particular packet. So you can see, notice here, the packet 4 is transmitted, and that packet 4, after the receiver receives it, you can notice here packet 4 is received correctly at the receiver side, immediately after packet 4 is received, since the packet 4 has not received in order. What is the meaning of order? After packet 2 only packet 3 and then packet 4 had to be received, but packet 4 is missing. Because of this packet 2 missing, packet 2, packet 4 is out of order. So packet 4 is not discarded, instead packet 4 is buffered, carefully maintained inside the buffer, and immediately after that ACK4 also is transmitted. So you can notice here ACK4 is transmitted. We'll come back to our sender. So what the sender is doing here, at this stage one more acknowledgement is received at the sender side. So which is that acknowledgement? That acknowledgement is ACK1. So once ACK1 is received, you can notice sender will slide his window by one more position. So once the sender slides his window by one more position, a new packet is entering into the window, and that is our packet 5. So what the sender will do now? He will send packet 5. This time he is sending packet 5, and now what the receiver should do? Receiver is receiving packet 5, but again you can notice here packet 2, since it is missing, our receiver cannot extract that and deliver to the application layer. Instead he has to maintain the packet 5 also safely inside his buffer. Now you can notice packet 3, packet 4 and packet 5 are stored inside the buffer, and the only reason for that is packet 2 is missing. Right? Okay. So immediately now what the receiver does, packet 5, for packet 5 ACK5 is transmitted. So that is done. Yes. So now till this stage, now again you can notice till this stage what is happening. Yes, our sender is not receiving ACK2. So you can notice here there is a gap, right? So what does this gap means? ACK2 is not received. But ACK2, since it is not received, sender, how long he has to wait? Sender has to wait for ACK2. But how long he has to wait? He has to wait until the timer for packet 2 is expired. You can see here packet 0 timer was started initially, but that timer was stopped immediately after ACK0 was received. Again packet 1 also you can notice after it has sent the timer was started, but it is stopped after ACK1 is received. But packet 2, once it was sent, the timer was started, and that timer he is going to stop only after ACK2 is received. But here unfortunately ACK2 is not received, so sender has to wait until the timeout occurs for packet 2. So once the timeout occurs for packet 2, what the sender has to do? He has to retransmit packet 2. So what packet is retransmitting? He is transmitting only and only packet 2. So this is also one more major difference between our go back N protocol and selective repeat protocol. What is it? Our go back N used to retransmit all the packets back to back, whichever was inside the window. But selective repeat is not doing that. He is simply retransmitting only that particular packet whose timeout has occurred and for which the acknowledgement is not received. So he is retransmitting this time packet 2. So once the packet 2 is retransmitted, what our receiver will do now? You can just notice here, only this packet 2 was missing, but packet 3, 4, 5 was correctly received and it is still maintained inside the buffer. But once packet 2 is received, immediately our receiver will slide his particular window by how many positions? He has to slide his window by 4 positions. Why 4 positions? Because packet 2 is correctly received. After that packet 3, 4 as well as packet 5 are correctly received. No doubt in that, it is already maintained in the buffer. So that is why receiver is receiving 4 packets now, for which he has to slide his window by 4 positions. Now you can notice here, along with packet 2, packet 3, 4, 5 also is extracted out of the buffer, and all 4 packets are directly delivered to the above layer. Which is the above layer? It is our application layer, for which the packets are extracted and delivered. Correct? So here all 4 packets are back to back, it is extracted and delivered to the above layer. So now you can notice here receiver's new window. So inside the receiver's window there are how many packets again? 4 new packets, which are those 6, 7, 8 and 9. These are the 4 new packets that is expected at the receiver side. Notice here our receiver, immediately after receiving packet 2, he is sending ACK2, that is acknowledgement for packet 2, right? You can notice here, we'll come back to the sender. So what the sender is doing now, he has just retransmitted packet 2, right? But you find out, you just note on one thing here, can the sender slide his window after transmitting packet 2? He cannot slide his window after transmitting packet 2. He has to wait until acknowledgement for packet 2 arrives. Only after acknowledgement for packet 2 arrives, our sender can slide his window by one position. So here ACK2 is not yet arrived. You can notice a big gap here. ACK2 is not arrived. Instead, which is arriving here? You can see at this stage one ACK is arriving. Which is that ACK? It is for packet 3. ACK3 is arriving. So even if ACK3 is arriving here, can our sender slide his window? He cannot slide his window. He cannot slide his window. Why? Because he is waiting for ACK2. Unless and until ACK2 arrives, even if ACK3, 4 and 5 arrives, he cannot slide his window by one position. And sliding window is stuck here because of this ACK2, packet 2. So you can notice here ACK2 is sent here in this last stage. Only after this ACK2 arrives, our sender will slide his window by how many positions? Our sender will slide by position 1, as well as he also received correctly packet ACK3. He is also receiving ACK for packet 4. He is also receiving for ACK packet 5. So 3, 4 and 5 are received. ACKs are received before ACK2. So even then he cannot slide. But once he receives ACK2, since all 3 packet previous, you can see for packet 3, 4, 5 also ACKs are received earlier. Because of that, the sender also can slide his window by 4 positions. Okay, and that sliding is happening only after ACK2 is received correctly. I hope this is clear, selective repeat concept. So you can note down the major differences between go back in and our selective repeat. So one major difference is our both sender and receivers are maintaining sliding window. So sliding window concept is here something like the number of packets inside the window will be equal to the window size. So both our sender and receiver is maintaining the sliding window. And then the next major difference is our receiver will not discard out of order packet. Instead, he will maintain the packet inside his buffer. Okay, so in go back in, out of order packet was simply discarded. Correct, that is one thing. And one more thing here about retransmission. If any packet is lost, our sender will wait until the timeout occurs. But after the timeout occurs, the retransmission takes place only for that lost packet, not for all the packets after the lost packet. In multiple retransmission will not take place. Instead, only that particular lost packet is transmitted from the sender side. But in go back in, that was not the case. After the packet is lost, once the timeout occurs, multiple packets were retransmitted in go back in. So these are the major differences here between go back in and selective repeat. I hope this concept is clear. Yes, this is one more example of selective repeat. You can go through this one more example of selective repeat. Okay, so it's one and the same. Yes. Now we have a confusion created by selective repeat. So what is that confusion created by this selective repeat with this selective repeat protocol? Okay, we will see the two scenarios here. Okay, so we'll see now this top scenario. What is this scenario? We will see. Okay, so before we discuss this scenario, I would like to tell about the sequence numbers used. In my previous example, I had used the sequence number. What were the sequence numbers used? You can notice here, I had used continuous sequence numbers right from 0 till 9 to indicate different packets, right? But here you can notice in selective repeat here, but in this example, you can notice the sequence numbers used are repeated. What is the meaning of repeated sequence numbers? See here, I have used the sequence numbers only 4. That means I have used only 2 bits for sequence number. What is the meaning of 2 bits? 2 bits. So it is something like it is represented as 2 to the power k. So if I am using here k bits, k bits. So k bits in the sense, just now I said I'll use the value of k as 2. So the meaning is I've used 2 bits for indicating sequence number. So 2 to the power k is how much? 4, right? So 4. So what is the meaning of 4 here? Total 4 sequence numbers can be used. So what are those 4 sequence numbers that can be used here? Those 4 sequence numbers that can be used are 0, 1, 2 and 3. These many sequence numbers only can be used if k value is equal to 2. Okay, so here you can notice the 0 indicates first packet, 1 indicates second packet, 2 indicates third packet, 3 indicates fourth packet. Again 0 is reused. What is the meaning of that? This is the fifth packet that you are transmitting. Again 1 indicates sixth packet that you are transmitting and 2 indicates it is the seventh packet that you are transmitting. So here that is how you are reusing the sequence numbers. Same thing is applied over here also. Okay, receiver side also. Okay, with this sequence number concept we will discuss this scenario now. Okay, you just notice here. First, window size is how much? Only 3. So only 3 packets are inside the window. At a time, 3 packets can be transmitted. Which are those? Packet 0 is sent, packet 1 is sent, back to back. Packet 2 also is sent. What happens at the receiver side? Immediately after packet 0 is received, our receiver will slide his window by 1 position. At the same time, ACK0 is also transmitted and this packet 0 is also delivered to the above application layer. Next, after packet 1 is received, again the receiver will slide his window by 1 position, ACK1 is sent, and again this is also, packet 1 is also transmitted above to the above application layer. Then once packet 2 arrives, again the receiver will slide his window by 1 more position, again ACK2 is sent, again packet 2 is also extracted and delivered to the application layer. See, all 3 packets have arrived in order. Till here there is no problem at all. But what happens over here, you see, all the 3 acknowledgements back to back, whatever was sent is lost in the network. So because of that, our sender is not able to receive any of the acknowledgements. A big gap you can notice here, is not able to receive any of the acknowledgements. So you can notice here for the first packet, packet 0, timer was started. So our sender has to wait for ACK 0. How long is waiting for ACK 0? Till the timeout occurs for packet 0. So once the timeout occurs for packet 0, what our sender will do now? He will decide to retransmit the packet. Which packet he is retransmitting? Only packet 0 is retransmitted. So why this packet 0 is retransmitted? Because ACK0 was the first packet the packet 0 was first transmitted. So he was expecting ACK0, but ACK0 is not received. Since ACK0 is not received, the sender will wait until the timeout occurs for packet 0. So that is why he has decided now to retransmit that old packet or the first packet, that was packet 0. But what is happening at the receiver side? You can notice here our receiver has already slided his window by 3 positions because receiver knows that he has correctly received and he has already sent the acknowledgement. But the receiver is now expecting the new packets, which are those packet with sequence number 0, 3, sorry, with 0 and 1. What is it? This is 4th packet, this is 5th packet and this is 6th packet. 3 new packets he is expecting. But he is receiving this old packet. Whether the receiver will come to know that it is the retransmitted packet or it is the old packet that is arriving? No. Receiver will think that it is the new packet, that is the 5th packet with sequence number 0 is arriving. And because of that, our receiver will accept that packet with sequence number 0 and he will store that particular packet in his buffer, thinking that this is the this is the new packet, that is the 5th packet that he is getting. So you can see here that is the confusion that is created in our selective repeat. So what is the confusion? You can notice here the confusion created over here is because of the sequence number. So sequence number 0 indicates that here sender knows that he is retransmitting old packet, but our receiver will assume that this is the 5th packet, that is the 5th packet because it is the only packet inside now, only packet with sequence number 0 inside his sliding window. He will assume that that is the 5th packet that is arriving at the receiver side. So because of that, receiver will store that wrong packet inside his buffer, thinking it is a 5th packet. So that is a big confusion created because of the selective repeat protocol at the receiver side. Now you consider the second scenario here, below scenario. Okay, sender is sending packet 0. Again, the same concept. You can see window size is 3 packets are there. So 0 1 2 are the packets which has to be transmitted back to back. Sender is sending packet 0 1 and 2. Same concept over here. Receiver is receiving first packet 0, ACK 0 is transmitted, packet 1 is received, ACK 1 is transmitted, again packet 2 is received, ACK 2 is transmitted. So here the receiver will finally slide his window, and inside his window again packet 3, the fourth packet with sequence number 3, fifth packet 0, and sixth packet 1 is expected at the receiver side next. Now here what you can see, what is happening, ACKs are correctly received at the sender side. ACK 0, after that ACK 1, and after that carefully ACK 2 is also received at the sender side. Now what our sender can do, he can slide his window. Why? Because acknowledgement is received for packet 0, acknowledgement is received for packet 1, so that is why he can slide his window. You can notice here, immediately after sliding his window, what is happening here? New packet 3 he can transmit, packet 3 is transmitted. Again here you can notice a new packet is entering into the window, that is packet 0. What is this packet 0? It is our fifth packet, the new packet, fifth packet is entering. So our sender is sending now, this time which packet? It is fifth packet with packet sequence number 0 he is transmitting. So this is the fifth packet is transmitting, new packet is transmitting. Whether our receiver is expecting that same new packet? Yes, he is receiving, he is expecting that same new fifth packet, and that is the fifth packet, and that is the correctly received packet. Okay, so this is the below scenario which is proper, where this is proper. Why? Because ACKs are received correctly. But the above scenario you can see that is a confusion created because of selective repeat protocol. So this is the dilemma. But what could be the solution for this? The solution for this is our sliding window size. So what could be our sliding window size? Our sliding window size is here. How much? It is 3. The meaning is only 3 packets can be inside the window. Can I reduce this sliding window to half? It is something like, if I use the sequence numbers, 4 sequence numbers to indicate the packet, that is 0 1 2 3, I can take my window size as exactly half of this. So how much is exactly half of this? This window size can be only 2. If the sequence numbers used are 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, then the window size could be half of that. How much is that? Only 2 could be the window size. Okay, so that is the solution. So now if you reduce the window size from 3 to 2, 3 by 2 is how much? 1. If I round it up as 1, if the window size is 1, then there is no confusion at all. Or suppose if your window size was 4, if I reduce it to exactly half, that is 2, only 2 packets were inside the window, only 2 packets are transmitted at a time. In that case, the confusion, there was no confusion created at the, there would be no confusion created at the receiver side. I hope this selective repeat concept is clear, and the solution for the dilemma also is clear. So the drawback of selective repeat also we have discussed. So clearly note the difference between selective repeat and go back in. So I hope this concept is clear.